Today is the day the Jets are interviewing Mike Vrabel, first reported by Zach Rosenblatt. Important to remember here, guys. If you guys have paid any attention to this channel, you know that I am one of the biggest Vrabel supporters. I have said multiple times, not only on this channel, but on Twitter and Facebook, that they should basically lock the doors and don't let Vrabel leave. He is the ultimate CEO head coach. He has, I think, a 54-45 record. Out of his 6 seasons with Tennessee, 3 of them he went to the playoffs. And in one of the seasons, he went to the AFC Championship game with Ryan Tannehill of all quarterbacks. They cannot just outright hire him today. And I think a lot of Jet fans don't understand that. There are certain rules in place, particularly the Rooney Rule, that has to be sufficed before anybody can be offered the job. So don't expect any news today that Vrabel is going to be hired by the Jets. We saw that happen 2 years ago, I think, with Brian Flores and Dable with the Giants, where the Giants, like under the table, gave Dable the position and then interviewed Flores after the fact. And that is kind of the whole basis for why Brian Flores is kind of suing the NFL right now. So I want Mike Vrabel. A lot of us want Mike Vrabel. Like I said, he's the ultimate CEO head coach. He will immediately bring in an air of respectability to the Jets. Something to also take into account, his last few years with Tennessee, after Arthur Smith left, he had Todd Downing as his offensive coordinator. We already had Todd Downing here. Now, Todd Downing may not be the greatest offensive coordinator, but at least he's someone who is familiar with Vrabel. And who knows, maybe Vrabel will want to keep him around. Some of the arguments against keeping Vrabel or hiring Vrabel are a few. Well, first off, a lot of people like to say that he doesn't know how to develop a quarterback. And I outright disagree with that. When he got to Tennessee, they brought in Ryan Tannehill because the team was kind of ready to win. They just needed kind of a system quarterback, someone to manage the offense more or less. And that's what they got with Ryan Tannehill. There is nobody in the world, I think, that thinks that Ryan Tannehill could have been developed any further than he already was. He never got the chance to sit and evaluate quarterbacks in a draft and pick one and get his hand-picked guy. Yes, he drafted Will Levis in the second round in his final season there, and then he was gone. So, like I said, the argument against him for quarterback play is that some people think he never developed a quarterback. I understand the argument, but I outright disagree with it. I really do, because he, like I said, he never got the opportunity to draft, pick his quarterback, and develop him. The other one is that people think he's not a winner, that he just got to the playoffs and was kind of bounced out, and then his last 2 seasons were losing seasons. The reason why he got fired in Tennessee was because the owner passed away, and the new owner, the previous owner's daughter, did not like him. They were really at odds, and she felt kind of intimidated by him. She said, I think in multiple interviews, that he uses his size to intimidate in meetings. And guess what? That's what I want in a head coach. If that's why he was fired, bring him in, because I want an intimidating head coach who's not going to take any BS from anybody. One of the last things here, Peter Schrager tweeted out, was that something important here with the interview. It's not happening over Zoom. It's not happening in Palm Beach. It's happening in New Jersey. Vrabel is coming to the facility, and I think that's very important. You want him to see the facility, see the building, get a taste of what it's like in One Jets Drive. They have to roll out the red carpet. They have to do everything they can. They have to give him the ability to make a decision or be very involved with who the GM is. Because I think in a situation like the Jets, if you want to get someone like Vrabel, you have to give him that amount of control, that amount of power. Money is not going to just do it, okay? Because he can very easily go to the Raiders, where his best friend is the owner. The only thing really drawing anybody to the Jets if you're an established head coach who's done this before, is giving them the power and giving them a lot of say and a lot of control over what happens, while also paying them very well. Otherwise, you're going to end up with a first-time head coach like Aaron Glenn. Not saying Aaron Glenn is a bad pick, but there are better choices out there. So that's my feeling on it. Again, don't expect any announcement today that they're actually hiring Vrabel, because there are certain rules, NFL rules in place to prevent that from happening. But this is a big day, and they have to roll out the red carpet for this guy. They got to give him whatever he wants. He is shown to be a winner. 6 seasons in Tennessee, 3 of them in the playoffs. We haven't sniffed respectability in a very long time, and I think that's what Mike Vrabel gives us. Tannenbaum has got to be able to see that, and he's got to pull the trigger, or he's got to push Woody or push Brick Johnson, whoever's making the decisions, if we're being real here, to get Vrabel. Whatever it takes. He's the best candidate out there. You're not going to do any better than that. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. That's how I feel about it. I've been slamming the table constantly for Vrabel. And you know what? We all talk about Aaron Rodgers, and it seems like he has a good relationship with Vrabel. If Vrabel wants to bring back Rodgers next year, I am almost willing to do that if it means Vrabel is here for 6, 7, 8 years, whatever it is. Because I'm thinking long term. Okay? I know a lot of people want to run Aaron Rodgers out of town, me included. His stats do not represent what the actual play on the field is. And if Vrabel looks at this roster and says, you know what, I can win with Aaron Rodgers, then so be it. Because Aaron Rodgers isn't going to be here after next year, definitely. And if that means Vrabel makes that decision and gets to keep the quarterback that he wants to keep, and we go on a run because Vrabel is our quarterback for the long term, the foreseeable future, then I am willing to take the bullet of Aaron Rodgers for one more year. Because I'm looking farther out than just this one season. Whatever Vrabel wants, money, control, you have to do it. He is the head coach that we need. Let me know what you guys think.